Hi, everyone.
Hi, 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 hi. Happy Tuesday.
We're definitely multitasking. And only because I have a guest today on the iPhone and something that we really want to show you with this series. So today is actually, we're going to talk about chlorine and us, what you need to know about chlorine, the good, the bad, and the quite frightening. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. Bear with me. I am sharing things here.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. So, how's your Tuesday going? Let us know in the comments.
Hmm.
Are you excited about chlorine and us?
Chlorine. And we all have it. If you have municipal tap water, you have chlorine. If you have well water, mm, you don't have chlorine in your pipes, which we'll talk about why that can be good and why it can be bad. So I want to kind of go over a brief history of chlorine, if you will, and doing so much studies on water, our tap water. Chlorine is It's been added to the municipal tap water system since the early 1900s. And even though it is technically considered a weapon of mass destruction, this is quite interesting. Even though I've known that, I didn't know the details of that. Um, Chlorine gas was first used as a chemical weapon by the German army during the Second Battle of, I can't pronounce that, in 1915. When it released in the air, chlorine forms a greenish yellow cloud that reacts to moisture in the lungs to form hydrochloric acid. Or what we know today is trihalomethanes when it's exposed to heat and it becomes a vapor. You're in your shower and you inhale it. It's the same thing. What you typically can experience is burning sensations, choking, respiratory failure, often death back in the day when it was used as a gas in the air. Um, when you experience this in the shower as a trihalomethane gas, you don't get it obviously quite so extreme as this has been used in the past. But just know chlorine is a weapon, it does kill. And the reason that we use it in our pipes and our waterway systems is to kill the bacteria that allows the water to come into our homes.
Yes. It,
So,
it
yeah.
also kills viruses and parasites to some extent,
Mm-hmm.
but that also leads to disease.
Yes, yes, yes. So we need it in our pipes. We need it up until it comes into our homes. So it is a good thing to some extent. However, once it's in our homes or we're swimming in it or what have you, it becomes extremely toxic. And we don't realize because those symptoms are generic everywhere with everything.
Mhm.
And of course, with chlorine, they're very generic as well. Did you have symptoms that you want to go over?
Yeah, like some things, like when you bathe in chlorine or swim in chlorine, or I mean, obviously, like Jill said, there's chlorine in the water. Unless you're filtering it, it's still in there.
Mhm.
So, something that could lead to is it can dry out your skin, it could damage your hair can turn really brittle. Skin aging, that's huge because of the oxidative stress that you're receiving. And like Jill said, we're also breathing this in our shower, in bathing. Like we're breathing in because our hot water causes chlorine to vaporize, as she said. So now we're informing, or we're inhaling, informing. We're inhaling, and that can also lead to a bunch of different things like respiratory problems, asthma, bronchitis, like anything that has to do
Mhm.
with that. And think like I know me, like when I started going down this rabbit hole, I'm like, I swim.
Mhm.
And, like how much do we really absorb when we're swimming in chlorine for, you know, a whole day?
Mhm.
Like we don't really think about that, but our skin is the biggest pore that we have. So, oh, I don't even want to think about it. But like I said, it causes a bunch of different things. And if we're drinking it, I
Mhm.
mean, long-term exposure to drinking chlorine every day, which was never intended to be in our bodies. Um, I mean, bladder, kidney, colon. I know some is associated with like pregnancy issues, whether that be low birth weight, miscarriages.
Mhm.
Like Jill said, these are fairly vague though, right? It could be anything and everything.
Mhm.
Hormonal disruption. And
Mm.
that's with all the things in the water, not just necessarily chlorine, but pharmaceuticals, our body products, our hair products, all that's in the water,
Mhm.
along with oxidative stress, which is rising.
Mhm.
More and
And
more
we
and more.
associate these symptoms with everything else but the toxins that we're bathing in. And it's the easiest thing to fix is filtering your water. Then you'll really see, is this genetic? It's the easiest way and the most cost effective. So while you're talking, I'm going to actually show you a wonderful, amazing test. And
Yeah.
when you are, sorry, washing, excuse me, washing your food in your tap water, if you don't have a filter, the chlorine will permeate the food. It doesn't wash off, it permeates the food. And I'm going to show you in a second how that actually works. So give me
Yeah.
just a moment. Uno momente.
You are show away, show away.
I don't know. I totally forgot how to do this, guys. Here we go. We're going to start
ATO.
the video.
Hey. Beautiful.
And what I want to show you, this is, I had to go to my other, I have 2 units here that I not live in, but I had to get chlorinated water. So what I'm going to do, these are OTC drops. You can get them at any pool store, Home Depot, anything like that. And I'm going to drop a bunch in here. I don't know if you can possibly see that. Actually, let me grab a white paper towel to go under that.
Awesome. And then this is going to teach us like how chlorine actually absorbs into anything and everything.
I should have done that earlier. My apologies. Okay. So you can see pretty much the yellow, the chlorine in this water. So what I'm going to do is actually dump rice in here. We're going to let that sit for a little bit. I did not want to swish this in my mouth. I don't want chlorine in my mouth. It will absorb immediately through the mouth. So it's not what I want to do tonight. So this is just, I don't know if you can see very well, but it is absorbing that. I'm going to go get one more light. Keep talking,
Yep.
Amanda.
Yeah. We're just talking chlorine here. And it's crazy to actually watch this happen. And we encourage you to also go get OTC drops and try this yourself.
Yeah, if you like little experiments, I love experiments because, we can talk about it till the cows come home. Show me what you're talking about.
Well, but when you're the actual witness of it and you're the
Yeah,
one proving that to yourself, like that changes the game on so many levels versus watching someone else do it with their water. So, go get a cup, get some rice, go get some OTC drops, film it and
absolutely.
share it with us.
I know. I wish I had a better picture, but you can kind of see where it is starting to absorb the chlorine. So we'll keep an eye on that. I just want to keep the camera on there so you know that I'm not doing anything with this. Like you're watching it. You're watching it happen
In real time.
in real time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you turn your tap on currently, you may say, I don't smell any chlorine. I don't have, my eyes don't burn, or I don't cough or anything like that. Just know this.
There's a reason for that.
There is a reason. And nowadays they've actually moved from using straight chlorine, not in all places, but in a lot of places, to a mixture called chloramine. Chloramine is chlorine and ammonia together. When you mix them together, it cancels out the smell. So you can't smell it, you can't taste it, or anything like that. And the reason that they switched to this is because it goes further into the pipes. Chlorine stops at a certain level. It's stronger, closer to the municipality. Chloramine travels further. So it's actually, it's of more value to them to use chloramine than just straight chlorine, if that makes sense.
And there's also more downsides to that as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know, with that comes harder to remove when it comes to filters. Like you have to make sure your filters are actually set to remove all of that, which again, we don't think about, right? And
Right.
if you're not smelling it, out of sight, out of mind, out of mind, out of smell, out of senses, out of thought.
Right.
And with all of this, it's going to create more toxic byproducts. Like what? Uh, nit- nitros.
Halosedic acid. There's a couple of those. There's a lot of, I can't pronounce them, but they end in methane. Methane.
Nitros. I think it ends in a main. I don't. Yes, but
Nitric oxide. No.
oh geez, that's a whole other topic in and of itself.
Right.
But it also, with the research I've done, it's more corrosive to pipes. So now we're thinking more lead, more heavy metals in the water from this. It could be harmful for fish. Kidney, I want to say this takes a toll on the kidneys and kidney dialysis patients because it has to be removed from the water before it hits them, or that's a whole other ballgame. It can cause skin and respiratory infections, irritations, and if you're sensitive, you know, I'm wondering why, like the last few years, I'm like, no, I'm good. No pool for me. And I'm wondering if this is actually why now, like now that I'm actually sitting here speaking on it. Like there had to be a reason because I love the water. You take me to a lake or something, like if I'm on something, I'm golden. But you want me in it?
Nope.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, and you think about, I think it was a friend of yours that actually had mentioned this, like you're on a lake. Yeah, there's a lot of toxins and such. However, there's a lot of lead used by fishermen that drop that people lose all the time that sit on the bottom of the lake. So now you're contaminated. You're completely contaminated with lead and other things. Anyway, yeah.
Thanks.
So one of the worst parts is too is you've got the chlorine in the pipes, and then you've got through the household, all of that is running through the household, going down all the drains back into the wastewater, going back into the municipality, and they're trying to filter just compounding chemicals coming in, including the chlorine that they sent through the pipes in the first place. So at some point, it's hard to blame them. We can't put blame anywhere. We can't expect for them to keep us safe because the cost of doing that, we would not be able to afford water, period. We would not afford to have any tap water, running water in our homes. So it is up to us to find a filtration system that works, but understand what these chemicals do and toxins in our food, in our body, in our household, to our pets. And the latest study on chlorine and chloramine is the link to breast cancer. Breast cancer is huge. If you notice, breast cancer is huge. Dementia and Alzheimer's is huge. It's on the rise, and so is Parkinson's. I'm not stating that chlorine is linked to Parkinson's or dementia and Alzheimer's. However, it wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of link in there. You know, it can't help, excuse me. So yes, just want to show you. And if you're watching the rice cup,
That's so crazy.
share it. Now this was regular, oops, don't get water on the computer. So now you've got the rice that it has absorbed the chlorine. I don't know about all of it. Yeah, it looks pretty absorbed. Yeah. I don't want to pour this over my computer. Okay. Now that doesn't look yellow. You can't even tell.
You would never know it's in there.
Let's go down here now. And let's add some more OTC drops. I'm going to put a lot just so that you can see everything that I'm doing. I'm not seeing any.
That is so crazy.
So now your rice is holding all of your chlorine, all of it.
And then we're going to eat it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're going to eat it. I've been told
you wouldn't even know
to wash your rice before you actually cook rice. But if you're cooking in tap water, it really doesn't matter if you're washing it in tap water or bottled water for that matter. So just know that this is what we're ingesting and we don't realize it. So when you're making even baby food formula, or you're making a cup of tea or your coffee, not only does the taste change, but just eliminating chlorine alone is huge, absolutely huge. So I wanted you to see the impact of just rice.
And you only need a few ingredients to do that yourself and actually see. Like, one, to see how much chlorine is actually in that little cup of water where you live, because you can see it. And two, how quickly that rice actually just absorbed that. Okay, rice is, I want to say we use rice because it's really comparable to our skin in a sense. So if rice can pick it up that quick, could you imagine what your body and your skin is actually holding every time? Every time. I mean, I don't have to go much deeper into that. Every time.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a swish test next time, and just putting it in your mouth and swishing it like you're rinsing your mouth, spitting it out, and then testing it. There's no chlorine in it because your mouth absorbed everything. So looking at skin issues, it could be due to your chlorine. It really could.
I mean, any issues. Let's start with the water.
Yes. Yes.
with anything, start with water, because that is what we are made up of. And water matters. The quality of your water matters. How you filter your water matters.
That really. Anyway, yes. So we wanted to show you the importance of chlorine in your water and what it can do for you, what it can do to you and for you. It does have a good side and a bad side. We just don't need it in our household at all. And the beautiful thing is when you're looking at filtration, it's one thing to find filtration that will actually separate the water. It's still going into your wastewater. But when you're looking for filtration, you want filters that actually capture these contaminants and contain them. We don't want to keep dumping them back into the wastewater if we can so help it. And the latest, newest technology will allow you to do that. So reach out if you have any questions. If there's anything that we can discern for you on filtrations, certifications, or anything, it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to just cover yourself and your family. It really doesn't.
And we are here to serve you. So with any questions, concerns, issues, have a conversation with us. We're here to serve you.
We are here. And if you'd like just a 30-minute, let's see what's in your water. Let's see what's in your tap water. Oh, those are fun. Yeah, we got you.
We got you.
So in closing out, is there anything else that we want to? Did we shock you enough?
Yes, tell us your thoughts. Like, what are your thoughts on this? Are you going to go out and actually try it for yourself so it's that much more impactful for you and you actually know?
Mm-hmm.
And then tape it for us and share with us. And what are your thoughts around that? How was it more impactful when you did it versus when you watched it?
Yeah.
And join us on a call.
Mm-hmm.
Let us inform you of all the knowledge we have. And then we'll go from there.
We will find out, because we don't know everything, but we do know where to find it.
We do know where to find it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also join us next week. We will be showing you how to remove oil-based pesticides from your fruit, your veggies, and your meat.
Without them absorbing it.
Right.
Love it. Thanks for joining, and see you next time.
See you next time.